What's up, everyone? So, I want to talk about some Bible allegories. The Bible is completely analogical, metaphorical, and allegorical. I say this all the time, and it's because we've proved it over and over and over. And people just say, "You guys always say that. You guys are just." They tell us that we just need to accept that Jesus is the Son of God and that we can only be saved through Jesus. These people think that their only salvation is this external being called Jesus Christ, who did not exist. Now, if he did exist, then it would be blasphemous to say such things like he did not exist. But he didn't exist, so it's not blasphemous. In fact, it's sad that these people will shut off this video before I finish it, because if they finish this video, I will prove to them, as it has been proven over and over, that the Bible is complete allegory. So we have billions of Christians, billions of religious people everywhere. We call them churchgoers, and they're all completely ignorant to truth. And the Bible itself says, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. So why are they so afraid of the truth? It's because they have small minds. We are in the dark age, the Kali Yuga. Look, this is Kali. She represents the age that we're in. She's bloodthirsty, and she's very animalistic, lower mentality. Instead of what differentiates a man from the animals is that we have a mind. Man and mind are the same. So if you're not using your mind and you're just animalistic, animal instinct and reaction all the time, then you're just Kali. She's bloodthirsty. So there you are, carnal minds. That's the reptilian brain and not your human brain. The mammal brain is the emotions. So guess what? You're all on the lower levels and you've not fully grasped the esoteric knowing, and you're stuck at the exoteric thought, the surface, and you can't get past the cover. So basically, check this out. The Old Testament, when God says, kill the Canaanites and take back the promised land. Well, guess what? The promised land is your head. This is the land of milk and honey, which is your pineal gland and your pituitary gland. The pineal gland is Joseph. The pituitary is Mary, Joseph and Mary. So guess what? Joseph and Mary go down to Bethlehem, and that's where Jesus is born. That's where the house of bread is Virgo. So Jesus was born of a virgin in the house of bread, which is Bethlehem. The Hebrew word Bethlehem is house of bread. So Jesus was born in the house of bread, which is the Virgo constellation. He was born of a virgin. Boom. The sun passes through Virgo every year. Now, the point is that this is the promised land flowing with milk and honey, because it's your pineal and pituitary gland which secrete the hormones called melatonin and serotonin. And you also have dopamine. These are the three wise men that bring gifts to Christ. It's your chrism oil, and these are the three gifts to humanity. Just like Santa Claus bring presents, because the claustrum is in your brain. These oils mix and they feed your organs, and then they return back to the cerebrum whence they came. So therefore, Santa Claus gives presents to all, and then he goes up and down the chimney. Thank you, Santos Bonacci. Jim Carrey even speaks about this. And so the point is this. Promised land. Head is heaven, earth is heart, hell is heel. In meditating position, your heel touches your root chakra, and that is the negative energy. This is neutral zone, and this is the positive energy. So you can't go to the Father except through me, is what Jesus says. You can't go to heaven except through the heart. Head, you can't get to the head except through the heart, through love. Okay? So love gets you access to heaven. And Jesus is the stairway between heaven and earth. So Jesus represents love. When he dies on the cross, on the crucifixion, it's a fiction, it's false. During the crucifixion, Jesus gets nailed to a cross, he gets a crown of thorns, he gets whipped. And he still forgives his enemies, for they know not what they do, is what he says. It's a concept in Egypt where Anubis weighs your heart against a feather. It's not literal. They don't actually pull your heart out and weigh it against the balance scale, weigh it on a balance scale against a feather and say, oh, your heart is lighter or heavier. It's symbolic for get rid of the negativity that keeps you stuck at the lower, more limited states of mind. You want to be unconditional and return to the unconditional love, bliss, perception that we come from. The Garden of Eden, we were pure and naked, and then we needed clothes because we went into duality, nighttime, daytime, nighttime, hot and cold. It was always warm. And then once you leave the promised land, it gets cold and you need garments. It's summer and winter, as opposed to always being summer or always being positive. And now we have this positive negative world, earth, but we come from only positive. There's no negativity, there's no darkness, only light, only positivity. So therefore, how can you go to a place called pure positivity when you still have negativity in you? It doesn't work. You got to get rid of the negativity in order to actually say, I'm in heaven now, because I have no regrets, I have no sorrow, no pain, no suffering, no anger, no hatred, no grudges. And that's why in the Old Testament, which is the book of Chronicles, which is Chronos, Father Time, Jesus doesn't come out into the New Testament, which is Jesus, Jupiter, Zeus, Jesus. The Old Testament is where Saturn comes out, or God. God tells the Israelites in the Old Testament to kill the Canaanites and take back the promised land. The Old Testament has the book of Chronicles, which is Chronos, that's Saturn, Father Time. Chronos' wife is Rhea, which is the area, the earth. So Chronos and Rhea is Father Time and Mother Earth. It's Samael and Lilith. This is a big lily pad. The earth is a lily pad. It's Lilith. It's Mother Earth. Father Time is Father Sky. So heaven and earth, and the children are Adam and Eve. But Samael, Lilith is top and bottom, and then left and right would be Adam and Eve on either side of the tree. And that tree connects heaven and earth. So you see it's like up, down, left, right. You have the sun and the moon, that's Adam and Eve. And then this is Lilith, a big lily pad, and that's Samael, Chronos, Father Time, Saturn above. Okay, guys? So check this out. Why does God tell the Israelites, which are the chosen ones, why does he tell them to take back the promised land? Because it's theirs. He says, reclaim what is yours. Kill the Canaanites, rape their women, cut open the pregnant women and kill their children, and then take the treasures for yourselves. Take the cities and the homes for yourselves.
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent?
Yeah.
A letter was left with the bodies, signed with one word: long legs.
What aren't you telling me?
It's an algorithm. His algorithm.
Help me out.
He'll kill. And kill again.
With QuickBooks Solopreneur, you'll gain confidence in your books. And it's on sale for a limited time. Get QuickBooks Solopreneur for $1 per month for mobile only. Sign up today.
This is symbolic for God telling us to, in order to get back to heaven and experience grace perception, you must get rid of the hatred you have for your family members and relatives, the grudges that you hold, the vengeance, the revenge that you want to get. Carve out the negative thoughts, because your mind becomes pregnant with sinister ideas and concepts. You got to get rid of them in order to ascend and have the blissful state of, in order to experience that blissful state. So now, it's beautiful. Yeah. I'm telling you guys all, get your butt back in the promised land. Come on. Ascend up your root chakra. Raise your frequency and get back up here to the 1,000-petal lotus. 144,000 when you add up all the chakras, because there's 4 petals on the root, 12 at the heart, and 1,000 at the top. When you add them all up, you get 144,000. And that's why in the Bible it says only 144,000 are welcome, because there's 12 tribes and the Israelites are the chosen ones. So that the 12 tribes of Israel are the 12 sons of Israel, or the 12 sons of Jacob. And each son, there's 12,000 of each tribe. So 12 times 12,000 is 144,000. It's an allegory because Israel didn't exist. Neither did Adam or Eve. So, or Noah, none of them. They're all characters. Moses, none of them existed. Moses splitting the Red Sea, when he goes from Egypt to the promised land, he's going from the left brain to the right brain. That's it. He's going from the root chakra to the crown, from the left brain to the right brain, splits the Red Sea, and he brings them out of slavery. That's because he liberates his mind. So basically, let me break one more down. Why does God tell Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac? And then Abraham says, yes, I will listen and obey. I sacrifice my son. Notice he says, I sacrifice my son. That's Isaac. In Hebrew, it's Itzak. Itzak means to laugh, because it's a joke. It's funny now when you realize that the Bible, by the way, it says, as in heaven, so on earth. So God is above and man is below. God is not below and man is not above. It's the opposite. God is above, man is below. On earth, God is in heaven, man is on earth. So God in heaven is Brahma, man on earth is Abraham, because they're reflections of each other. One's spiritual, one's physical. So God is the father of many. That's Brahma, the one who created the universe with his breath. Breath means bratheos. And Abraham is the father of many. Abraham means the father of multitudes in Hebrew. And Sarai, his wife, means princess or the queen. It's the king and the queen, the son and Mary and Joseph, the Ida and the Pingala, the promised land, milk and honey. So Abraham and Sarai, they're old. They're 70, 80, 90 years old. They can't have children. They can't reproduce because they're old. So God breathes breath into them. Abraham becomes Abraham, and Sarai becomes Sarah, Sarah, and Abraham now. Abram becomes Abraham. Sarai becomes Sarah, Sarah. So this is your cerebrum, Sarah and Abram. It's the top of your head, which is the father of many, and below that is the children of. We come from heaven, which is your head, and earth is the effect. This is the cause. So Brahma and Abraham. Abraham is not Brahma, which is not God, because he's a man. So you have Brahma and Abraham, and that's it. Well, Abraham was going to sacrifice his son, but the angel said, no, don't kill your son. Instead, kill that ram with its horn stuck in a thicket. So Abraham kills the ram instead. So guess what? As above, so below. Just like God sacrificed his one and only beloved son, Jesus Christ, the Lamb of God, so did Abraham, which is not God, but it's the earthly God, the earthly father of many. Abraham was going to sacrifice his son, but instead he kills a ram. So both fathers sacrificed the ram, the sacrificial lamb, which was their son. Oh, so it was going to be his son. But God did sacrifice Jesus, who was his son, the sacrificial lamb of the world. It's just a reoccurring theme of the father killing his son. Same thing. So now, one more I'm going to break down. What does it mean when the Bible says, to kill the ram during Passover? The Jews will eat the ram during Passover, which is when the sun passes over the equator. In the winter, the sun goes over Australia. In the winter for North Hemisphere, the sun is over Australia. It's doing the big, giant tropic Capricorn. In the summer, the sun does a small loop around the North Hemisphere, which is the Tropic of Cancer, and it's smaller. But during fall or spring, the sun has to pass over this equator line. And that's what gives Ecuador the most heat. Summer. It's the equator, Ecuador, Mexico. You go to Ecuador in the spring, and it's blazing hot. It's their summertime. Cancer is the North Hemisphere's summertime, and Capricorn is the South Hemisphere's summertime for Australia. Capricorn for me is cold. Capricorn for Australia is hot. I'm in California. So guess what? During the Passover, March 21st, the Jews kill the ram and they burn it because that is Aries, the fire sign. Guess what the Catholics and the Christians do during February, which is Pisces? They eat fish every Friday, called Fish Friday during Lent. From February 22nd all the way to April 6th is 40 days of Lent, because the days are lengthening. They're getting warmer. Because the sun was down here, now it's passing over and it's getting warmer. Boom. That's called Lent. So during Pisces, February, the Catholics eat fish every Friday, and then during March 21st to spring, the Jews eat ram and they burn it because it's Aries, the fire sign. It's all allegorical. And once you know astrology and know that everything above governs that which is below, and you understand the processes above are reflection of the processes below, then that's what as above, so below is. And people are literalizing these things and making them external when they're completely internal or astrological, but they're making them like, they're playing it out, like making it a literal, it's like a reenactment.
I think we're in an Airheads commercial. Want to skip it?
These people are just, they're good people. They want to go to heaven and they don't want to be cursed. And the Bible always says, if you don't listen, you'll be punished. So they don't want to be punished. Of course, Noah built his ark because God said, build an ark, there's going to be a flood. And everybody else partied, and Noah was the only one who listened. So he built his boat for his wife and his 3 sons and their wives, and he saved all the animals, and he was awarded and blessed because he listened. So everybody just wants to party and not listen and think that they're going to be saved at the end, but only the ones who have faith will be saved. Noah did not party, and he worked his ass off and built that boat. He built his ark. So of course, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But this is just to help people who are lost and say, why would God say to not kill, but then he says to kill, and they don't understand? It's because it's not to be taken literal. But if you want to literalize it and you're a good human and you mean no harm to others, then beautiful. That's beautiful. We're just here to help those who need help. Jesus saved himself. You don't need Jesus to save you. Jesus simply forgave his enemies, and he was awarded with grace perception, which is heaven. Be forgiving, be loving, no matter what. Every religion teaches love. Love is the key. Spirituality teaches love. Raise your frequency. What does Buddha teach? To get rid of all negativity. So, and Egypt, weighing your heart against a feather, it's all the same. You don't want to have regret when you die, because that makes you reincarnate here. You want to leave and return to where you come from, which is pure positivity. We come from the Garden of Eden, naked, pure. The Black Madonna. Madon is monad. We come from the one monad. And it's black because black then becomes white. It illuminates. And then it separates into the 7 colors of the rainbow. So from 7 colors of the rainbow to the white light, back to the black. Back to the black where there is no lack. We all come from this black. Or you could say clear. No color to then white to then the 7 colors of the rainbow. We separate from the one into many just for the joy of becoming one again, becoming whole. That's the holy science. To be complete, the Christic science. Aligning your chakras and turning lead to gold. Chrysopia. It's the sorcerer's stone. This is alchemy. It's what astrology does. Spring, summer, fall, winter, and then it restarts. From winter back to summer, you're turning lead to gold. Dark age, golden age. Dark age, golden age. We fall asleep and we wake up. It's just a constant, perpetual, dynamic play. It's a dance. Shiva's always dancing. And if Shiva stops dancing, nothing will exist. Everything exists because everything is in motion. Nothing is still. We come from stillness, so everything that is a thing is not still. There you go, guys.